All right, yeah, we're gonna be getting started here in a second.
BCS, Barclays SEC says Barclays to pay $97 million for overcharging clients. That's Bravo Charlie Sandy.
All right, let me silence Benzinga Charlie here. And we can get started. All right, guys. So thanks for coming back or continuing to hang out with me. What I'm going to do today is tell you how I use trade ideas, really, which is the most powerful tool that I use and the most important tool that I use. And this will be kind of the first in a series of these, because I'm going to go through all the tools that I use and kind of explain to you how I use them and how they're the most important to me. Trade ideas came about kind of after the first year of my trading, because just like everybody else that starts out, I started out with not a whole lot of money. Wanted to put all my money in my trading account. I didn't want to spend it on subscriptions or trading tools and things like that. And like everybody else, I didn't really understand the importance of the tools that you use. So if you think about this, think about if you're in a business and let's say, let's just make it simple. Let's say we're in a landscaping business and you want to start it, and you go out and you find the cheapest tools you can find. Or if you can find some for free or used stuff people are giving away. You're going to gather all of these things and you're going to start your business. Well, the first yard you're on, one of your pieces of equipment conks out. Then another one. And you get behind and you can't keep up with your appointments. Pretty soon you're going to be out of business. So investing in your tools is going to be the most important thing that you do when you start trading. For me, I didn't have that mentality, and it hurt me, and it kind of held me back the first part of my trading career. But now that I understand and now that I know what I need to do, it's really been, smooth sailing. Because as a day trader, you are in a business. This is your business. It may be part-time for you or it may be full-time. But it wasn't until I looked at this as a business and started looking at the tools that I needed as necessities, then it was hard for me to really take off. So there's thousands of stocks in the market every day, but only a handful of them are going to be tradable. And then there are less of those are going to be tradable for your strategy that you're going to use. So how do you sift through all of that? Now, yeah, you can do this manually. You can go through and you can find all of the free information and find the stocks that are moving and all of this. But what happens is you end up spending a whole lot of time trying to chase down stocks. And the more time you do that and the less time you spend focusing on your trades, it's not going to be a profitable venture for you. So it wasn't until I decided that I needed to invest in a tool that's going to give me everything I need, that's going to help me be self-sufficient. Now, yeah, I was in a chat room where I could see the scans, but I couldn't see them. I couldn't see what I wanted, when I wanted, and how I wanted it. And if you're going to be a day trader and you're going to want to be a consistently profitable one, and you're going to want to break away from being dependent on other people, then you're going to have your own tools. And so Trade Ideas came along, and after the first week, and really after the first trade, I paid for my subscription for a month. This thing, it can pay for itself in one day. I pay $89 a month, but I got in when it was a lot cheaper. They didn't have all of the things that they have now. But that was a good deal. And it's still a good deal, because any trades you made today, the small trades I made today equal a little over $200. That pays for my subscription today. I paid for it in one trade, really. It only took one trade to pay for it. And I can't really live without it. So what I'm going to do is go through my scans here, and I'm going to kind of talk you through how I use it, and how I use it for some of my strategies. So the first one, and this is the main one, is my opening range pre-market scan. And these are the stocks that come on this scanner are the ones that I look to trade at the open. These are the ones that's going to give me the best chance of catching a good opening range move. I've done a lot of back testing, and I like to do that because it helped me learn price action. The more screen time I had, the better I got. But I back tested these, and I came up with a scan that really gives me the best opportunity for my opening range trades. And if you follow my watch list and stuff every day, every day I have 3 or 4 stocks, and one, if not all of them, actually make the move. Today we had NVDA made a solid move. It was a little bit higher float than what I like, but everything else fit my criteria. But using this scan really gives me everything that I need to be successful in my opening range trades. Now, and it's real simple. All I'm looking for are stocks that's got up or down over $1. The price range is usually from $5 to $150. But now, since I'm dealing with a wider variety, a wider range of clients, it'll go from $1 to $300. Now, the other thing I look for is volume. The volume, it has to have traded at least 50,000 shares of volume today, pre-market. If it doesn't have 50,000 shares traded, it's not going to hit my scan. I don't care if it gapped up $20. is not going to hit my scan. So the volume is very important. This tells me that stock is in play that day. Because what I used to do is at night, I used to scan and try to find stocks that I think are going to be in play today, the next day. Well, that was an hour and a half wasted a lot of times, because some of the stocks I came up with didn't gap up. They didn't have any momentum. You know, it looked like it would the night before, but today it didn't. So I kind of quit scanning at night, and I started using my trade idea scanner. So I don't look at anything really until my scanners start feeding me tickers. And everything else I can filter out. You know, so what if another stock set up that wasn't on my scan? You know, who cares? I got the stocks right here that I can trade. And that's the kind of focus and that's the kind of trust that I have in my scanners, that it's going to give me the information that I need. And so let's go keep going through it. Now, change from the close. Like I said, this tells me what the change from the close is. Now, obviously, we're halfway through the day, so these numbers are going to be very large. But plus or minus $1 is going to be here. And this is the percent change. The other thing I look at is the float. I don't like trading a real low float, like stocks with less than 10 million, 20 million, 30 million share float. I don't really like trading those. I like stocks between 50 and 500 million shares float. Those are the ones, that's my sweet spot. And so that's what I'm filtering out here. Now, yeah, some come with low floats on here because, like I said, I'm kind of doing this. So the ones who like to trade the low float, small cap stocks, you know, you're going to have hits on here too. But when you get your scanner, you can put in whatever filters you want. It's just a matter of finding the right filter, you know, finding the right sweet spot for your strategy. So here's, you know, the float, the short float percentage, and then here's the stock twits relative activity. This tells me how many people are talking about it on stock twits. You know, how popular is this stock that morning? And here's a volume today as it relates to percentage. This is the standard deviations, which I don't really pay much attention to. And these are the consecutive days up or down. But the next thing I really pay attention to is going to be the average true range. Because I like, even though a stock with a catalyst can blow through its average true range, once it settles down, I want to have an idea of what's the normal movement of the stock. Now, how does it normally move? And so that's where the average true range comes in. So this stock, I wake up in the morning, I cut it on, and I can say, you know, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And this scanner brings it up. And it tells me, you know, who's the fairest. Who's going to be the ones that's going to be giving me the best opportunity for my strategy. Now, let's say I don't have any hits on here, or the ones I do don't really meet my criteria for the catalyst. You know, it could be a buyout. It could be a public offering. You know, some of the catalysts that I don't normally trade. So we have a standard gapper scan here that all it does is it feeds me stocks that are gapping up or down at least 4% that day. And this doesn't really have any filters on it. This is giving me all prices, all floats, any volume, it doesn't matter. But I can quickly look on here, and the first thing I do is I look for, okay, what's the volume? So I'm going to use this historical feature here just to go back and let you see what I'm looking at. Alright, so we're at 12 p.m. Let's look at it at 9 a.m. this morning. What did this stop look like at 9 a.m.? I mean, this scan. Alright, here was the scan at 9 a.m. So what do I do? First thing, I start looking at volume. Anything over 50,000 shares, then I scan over here to the price. It's, less than $10, I'm not interested. Less than $10, I'm not interested. Less than $10. And this is what I do. Here's NVDA. Wasn't on this scan because we had a float over 550 million shares. Okay, so we missed. But this is close. And I like the way NVDA trades. So I'm going to put it on my watch. Come down, come down. Oh, right here, INCR. I didn't like that, but I would look at it. I think it might have been on my scan. Hold on. The best thing to do is to put this on the same time frame here. So 9. And when I do the webinar on how I backtest and how I practice on the weekends, you're going to see how important this historical feature is on trade ideas. Now they have this artificial intelligence that is beyond belief, and it practically eliminates you having to sit here and backtest on your own. I like to do it because it gives me more screen time and it allows me to see more price action. But I'm going to get to a certain point where I'm going to want to use these tools, and it's going to save me some time in back testing and practicing. Alright, so see, INCR did hit my list, so it was on there. So we're going through, and I just go through, and here's EA. EA was on our list. COTY. This was too cheap of a stock. And really, it all depends on you. Some people like trading low dollar, low float stocks, and that's great. You have to find and define yourself as a trader. That's the biggest thing you do. You go out, you learn from everybody, you try to take in all of this, but then you're going to come to a point where you have to decide, this is who I want to be as a trader. And it may be that you want to trade penny stocks, God forbid. Or if you want to trade low float, low cap stocks. If they're listed, go for it. Obviously I have a bias against ORB stocks. OTC stocks, I'm sorry. Or some people like to trade the mid cap stocks. That's what I like. That's my sweet spot. I've dabbled in trading some of the higher price stocks, but I'm not used to that price action yet. But you have to figure out what you want, what you like, what you're comfortable with, and that's how you set the screeners on your scanners. And that's how I set these screens based on the way I trade and the stocks I feel are going to give me the best chance of being successful. The gapper scan just shows me everything that's gapping over 4%. Everything that's gapping up or down, regardless of volume. I could have something like here. I've got one here that has 200 shares. Another 200, 100 shares traded. But these have gapped up, but it's only had one trade. It's untradeable. But you're able to go through and filter through this and quickly determine whether the stock is going to meet your criteria or not. And then obviously once I do this, I go to another step and finish vetting the stock. But the ideas and the stocks that I vet come from trade ideas. And I have a process that I follow every morning, that I go through a process of vetting the stock. And if you're here for the morning show, you see exactly how I do it. And then in the day trading class, we tend to go a little bit further in depth into looking at these stocks. All right, so the next one I wanted to show you is this is a 5-minute opening range scanner. Now this will give me stocks that are breaking out or breaking down within the first 5 minutes. Now Trade Ideas has a lot. Let's see. Let me bring this up so we can take a look at this. Okay, you can do a new alert window, and they've got all different. They've got neutral strategies, bullish strategies, bearish, or whatever. You can customize it, do whatever you really want to do to it. But what I like to do, you can do a multi-strategy window. We go to a new strategy. You can do bullish, and you can find the stocks that are making new yearly highs, new day highs, up 3% or more, reporting earnings today. I like earning stocks, so I can look for stocks that are up, and then I could put on this window stocks that are down. So you could do anything with this to try to make it to find the stocks that you want to find. It's not really relegated to what I'm doing. So what I did with my let me find it here. With my 5-minute opening range, if I don't have anything, and this is what I did back when it was very slow, sometimes in the summer, where I couldn't find a stock to trade, I would go in and I built this scanner so that it gives me stocks that are hitting the 5-minute opening range and the let's do the history. The 5-minute opening range high or 5-minute opening range low. So obviously the ones that are breaking the opening range high are going to be green. The one that's breaking the 5-minute opening range low will be red. You can change this. You can do this 10 minutes. You can do this 15 minutes. You can do it 30 minutes. However you want to do it. I like the 5-minute because once I get it at 5 minutes, it'll give me time to go in and vet the stock quickly so that I can determine whether it's a stock that I want to trade. And really, what gives me a lot of encouragement, or a lot of I can't think of the word I'm looking for, evidence that the stock I'm in is the right one, is when, like this morning when I was trading FOSL. Here it is on the opening range breakdown. I'm trading it for an opening range breakdown, so it's hitting my scan. This is further support that I'm doing the right thing. Now, this didn't follow through the way I wanted it to, but it did give us a good trade. So that's where this 5-minute opening range comes in. I don't watch it every day. The only time I ever look at it is I'm just glancing at it to see if the stock I'm in hit this scanner, or if nothing shows up on the pre-market scan, my ORB pre-market scan, or the gapper scan that I want to trade. That typically happens in the summertime, and that's when I'll defer to this scanner. But it gives you multiple opportunities here. You still have to go in and vet this to see if it's going to give you the move you want, but it's a pretty powerful little scanner. The other ones that I look at, where is it? All right, the RSI Extreme Scanner. All right, what this does, let me do the history on this too. Let's do 10:22 a.m. Let's see what we come up with. Okay, so now this is giving me stocks that are approaching below 30 on the daily and 15-minute chart, or just on the 15-minute chart, or on the 5-minute chart. It's giving me stocks that are either oversold or overbought. And the way I look at it is I have mine set for under 30 is oversold. I mean, under 20 is oversold. Over 80 is overbought. Now, the standard is under 30 and over 70. So if I have it set for the standard, I can catch these stocks before they reach, my parameters. And so when these hit, I look to see if they're going to be a good reversal. And if they're on this RSI Extreme scan and my reversal scan that we see, that I'm going to show you in a minute, then I feel we're going to have a solid chance at a reversal, if everything else looks good. But this scanner is what I use mostly to find my trend continuation trades. These are trades that have made a big move up or down, have bounced or recovered or tried to reverse, failed at the first area of support or resistance, and starts to go back in the direction of the trend. Those are the trend continuation trades, and these are the scanners. This is the scanner that I use for it. Also use it to help me with reversal trades. If the reversal scanner doesn't have a whole lot hitting it, I can look at these, and sometimes it does give me a good reversal trade. But all this is looking for is the RSI on the 5-minute chart. You can see here, this one is 92.8. This one's at 8. These are extremes. They're way below the levels here. And this just gives me a price, tells me whether it was a gapper or not, or whether how far away from the open price we are. This gives me the float that I look at and the volume. All this is key. And these are the consecutive candles up or down. So all of this is real good information I can see real quick without having to do a whole lot of looking around. And in this business, time is money. And if you're late, you're going to be out of money. So that's why I really love these scanners so much, because they really take a lot of the time away from you having to find things. And believe me, I tried everything for free. And I spent more time chasing my tail than trading. Alright, so now I've got two reversal scans. I've got a standard reversal scan, and I have an extreme reversal scan. Looking at both of these. Both of them are looking for stocks that have been in a downtrend or uptrend on a 5-minute chart, and that's close to bouncing. Now the extreme reversals, this is looking for candles, stocks that have at least 6 green or at least 6 red candles in a row. This is only looking for 4. So it's going to hit my standard reversal scan first. Once it hits the extreme, then you see here with NVDA, it was on the standard, then it got to 6, it hit the extreme. This is telling me that this rubber band is getting stretched out real tight. And the further you stretch it out, the harder it's going to snap back. So I'm really looking for stocks to hit this. And then once they hit my standard reversal, and then once it hits extreme, I know we're probably pretty close. Okay, and on here I've got the RSI as well. Because if we're overbought, we're over 70, we're overbought, we may be looking for a reversal at some point, coming back down. So I'm going to go look at it, and I'm going to be watching it to see if the RSI gets over 80. So these are the simple scans that I use. Yeah, 5-minute candles, Josh. I'm sorry, I should have made that clear. Everything is based on the 5-minute candle. Everything I do is based on 5-minute candles, the 5-minute chart. Again, that's my sweet spot. That's the spot. Those are the candles that I feel give me the best opportunity to have a successful trade. And being successful trading is all about finding your place in the market. And the only person that can do that is you. You can't, and this goes back to what I talked about this morning about having the lottery mentality. You know how we go and we pay $10 and we're looking to win. It's just a game of chance. We pay somebody and expect to win. I paid you $4,500 for your class. Now I expect to be profitable. It doesn't work that way. You learn from that person. You learn the fundamentals, but you have to define yourself. You have to develop yourself. You have to put in the work. And that's what it's all about. You got to have the right tools, and you have to invest in them for yourself. Now, yeah, when you first starting, it's no problem. Come in my chat room. Use the scans. That's why I have them up there. But you're going to get to a level in your trading that you're going to want to do things on your own. You're not going to want to sit and chat and look at what I do and look at what everybody else does. You're going to want to find your own stocks. You're going to want to find the ones that's going to fit what you do as a trader. And once you do that, guys, I'm telling you, you're going to take off. I sat idle for 3 years learning how to trade. But once I realized I needed the right tools and I needed to be able to do these things on my own, everything came into focus. But it does take time. But you can eliminate the amount of the time you spend fumbling around trying to find yourself by investing in the right tools and doing things the right way. And that's why I use trade ideas. And I'm going to tell you, I used everything. I tried using FinViz. I tried, I used Thinkorswim. It's the charting platform I use. They've got all kind of scanners. That's a very powerful platform, but it's not set up for day trading. And I frustrated myself for months trying to make it do what I wanted it to do as a day trader, but it just didn't work. I tried Equity Feed. Equity Feed is good, but it can't touch what Trade Ideas can do. And like I said, I probably showed you 1%. What I use is 1% of what this thing can do. Okay, but once you get to a certain point and you're ready to take your trading to the next level, they're there to grow with you. There's so much there that I haven't even explored yet. They can probably narrow this down to, if the stock isn't here, then you don't trade today. How cool would that be, not to have any red days and just have green days? And you have some software, some technology that can help you do your job. Now, inevitably, you still have to work. You still have to put the time in. But it's going to help you. And it's going to help you cut the amount of time you spend, in doing what you do. So I hope you guys got something out of what I shared. I get these questions a lot about what scanners do I use, how do I find the stocks. All of the members get these scanners. I don't sell them to them. They get them for free. And because honestly, you get a Trade Ideas subscription and you get these, you're going to start making them your own. I've got, the people that I've given them to, all of the members, I'm sure they've tweaked them and changed some things so that it meets their criteria. And then you get to a point where you go out and you start writing your own. And this has every opportunity for you to write it on. There's so many things you can do. And I'm not qualified to go through and tell you everything that it can do or how many scans you can build. No, I'm the type person where I like things simple and clean. That comes from my engineering days, because as simple as you can get it with as little moving parts, the more consistent you're going to be. And that's the way it was in my racing. In drag racing, consistency is everything. And I tried to eliminate as many moving parts as I could. I tried to eliminate all the variables so that I can be as consistent as possible. And everything came over into trading, and it works the same way. You got to be consistent. You got to come in and do the same thing day in and day out. The market's going to change. Every setup is going to react differently when you get in it. The constant has to be you and how you react to what the market gives you. All right, guys, but that's all I had. Do y'all have any questions? Okay, yeah, just shoot me an email. Once I get through with this, I'm gonna take my lunch break and eat and answer emails. That's what I do at lunch. I try not to trade, but sometimes I get suckered in and give some money back. And like I said, I'm gonna do more. The next one will probably be on Thinkorswim, but Trade Ideas is a big part of how I use Thinkorswim as well, and you'll see that. This isn't just, I don't just use Trade Ideas to find stocks to trade during the day. I use it for practice at night. I use it for back testing. And you saw we just did the historical feature to bring up what it looked like this morning. I can go back 2 weeks and trade Monday through Friday on the weekend. I could run the scanner and you'll see it. When I share that with you. But that might be that's probably going to be the next webinar I do. It's going to be how I use Thinkorswim, but Trade Ideas is going to be a big part of it as well. Yeah, the average true range, I don't have it filtered. I have the average true range on my opening range breakout scanner. I do have it here, but it's not I don't have it set as a filter to where it kicks out stocks that are less than 50-cent ATR. Because you see, we've got this one at 39. Some mornings you'll see some on there with 8 or 12. I just ignore those. I don't trade those stocks. And most of them are low dollar stocks anyway that rarely have volume. It just so happens that they gapped up for some reason. Maybe some manipulation or something else going on. It all depends on Joshua, how you want to trade. For me, I just look at a dollar amount. I just make it a simple dollar amount. But you can look at the ATR based on the percentage, if that works for your setup. I use the ATR in my intraday on the 5-minute chart to give me an idea of how far I need to have my stop set. Because I base it on the previous 5 candles. The ATR on the intraday chart is going to base it off of those intraday candles. So I have it set so that it'll calculate the last 5 minutes. The last 5-minute candles. It'll give me the average true range of those last 5 candles. That's going to be my stop. That's my max stop. If it's 30 cents, then I know I need to give this stock 30 cents at least. And I need to set my position size based on that. Swing traders use ATR for their stops. Swing trading as well. And, when I start going into swing trading, I'll show, how I use the ATR to set my stops in swing trades as well. But the ATR is a pretty powerful indicator for me. All right, you're welcome. All right, guys, speak now or forever hold your peace. Now, if you guys are interested in the chat room, by all means, if you like what you see on the Sneak Peek Wednesdays, feel free to sign up. If you sign up for a month, you can sign up for a monthly membership, but you have a couple weeks. You can always upgrade to a yearly and just pay the difference, so you're not out that $69. Or if you don't like it, which some people don't, because I'm not giving them trades, I'm not telling them and holding their hand in trades every day. That's what they were looking for, so they left. It doesn't hurt my feelings, because you as an individual have to find a place to be that you like, that you're comfortable with. I started, and it's no secret. I started in Tim Sykes penny stock and silver. I did not like penny stocks. Okay, so I left. I joined Investors Underground. Nate's great guy, cool, but I was terrified of shorting stocks at that time. Now I can't stop shorting stocks. I short stocks when I should be going long. It's just a brain. I'm have brain farts all day long wanting to short things that are moving up. But at that time, and that room wasn't right for me because I was a long bias trader. I just went long. Then I went and I tried Bulls on Wall Street, which Kanal's awesome. I learned a lot. Watching him and watching the his webinars, but it was just a little too fast for me. And then I went to Warrior Trading, and that's where everything was laid back, and I found a place that I really fit, and that's what you have to do. And until things started changing, I was comfortable there. But you have to do what's right for you. And there shouldn't be any hard feelings from anybody whose service you tried or whatever. There's no hard feelings because you're the boss. You don't have to answer to anybody but yourself in this. Maybe if you have a significant other who wants to know why you were spending all the money or what happened to all the money that was in your account, then that's a different story altogether. Let's see. Tim Sykes 3 months. Investors Underground 6. Bulls on Wall Street 3 months. And Warrior Trading, I was there. How long was that there? 2 years? I was a moderator for the last year. I was there for almost a year, and then I was a moderator there for a year. Well, obviously, I like Warrior Trading the best. That was the one where I was. I stayed the longest. Until things started changing, I was very comfortable there. And that's why I say, once you find your comfort zone and where you fit in, until you don't fit in anymore, you stay because you're going to be able to grow. And here's my saying. You go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. So if you're in a room where people are just starting to tolerate you because you're there, then you need to move on. Well, there's a lot of personal, some personal differences, Joshua. Some things that I wanted to do, that I wanted to share, that was kind of in conflict with the direction they wanted to go. And it's like I said before, it's like you grow up in a house, and once you get to a certain age, unless you're able to conform, it's going to be hard for you to stay in that house. Just like a teenager growing up, you get to a certain point and there are things that you want to do and you want to experience and you want to share, but you have to be free to do it. And that's all it was. Everybody has to have their own identity, their own value system. And you have to stay true to those. And when those come under attack, you have to protect it. You have to preserve it. All right, you're welcome. And there's a reason why I have a monthly subscription, and then I had a yearly, because as far as I'm concerned, if you're not willing to go all in, it's not going to work for you. It's just not. This is one of these. This is one of these industries where you're going to have to go all in, and if you don't, you're not going to make it, because it takes that much of yourself in order to get to where you need to be. So I don't mind putting in the extra time. I don't mind doing all of the stuff I do for people who are willing to go all in. And going all in isn't spending $4,000, $5,000 on something. That's not going all in. That's being, excuse me for, excuse me for a lack of a better word. That's just plain silliness. But like I said, if you guys have any more questions, you all feel free to email me, ed@averagejoetrader.com. I answer emails at lunch. I answer them at night. I'm trying to focus on trading during the day, because I got so that I was answering emails and trying to talk to people while I should be trading, and that doesn't work too well. No, I don't trade Mike's strategies. I didn't learn his strategies. One of our we're similar in how we trade, but our strategies are different. He was my mentor over there, and he helped me, get going in the right direction. I was all over the place. So he helped me focus my trading, and that was key. So that I wasn't, here doing this or here doing that and all over the place. And I fought that. I never wanted to spend any money or invest any money in a mentor. But, the couple of sessions I did with Mike made a big difference. That's a good one. I hadn't heard that one yet. Birthday boy. Well, hell, if you can make money on one candle, hey. You gotta take it, I guess. I mean, honestly, now I love it when I make money on one 5-minute candle. Like if I get in and then the first 5-minute candle hits my target, I love those. I mean, they're few and far between, but I like that birthday boy. I never heard that one before. That's pretty cool. Yeah, but my goal in the room is to make sure you know exactly what trading is and what it's not. And it's not the fantasy of, making a couple $1,000s a day. That's not what it is. That's not where you start. Because if you can't make $50 a day, there's no way in hell you're gonna make $200 a day or $250 a day. You got to learn how to trade first, and you got to develop the skill, and it takes time. So it's just like when we were learning, growing up. I always say this. I know it sounds like a broken record. When we were learning grammar, and we were learning how to put words together to make sentences. We started small. See Jane run. Then we started adding, action verbs. See Jane run very fast. See Jane run fast down the street. I mean, we had to build ourselves up to that. And trading is the same way. And everybody you talk to, will tell you that. Some people forget that when they're trying to, sell you on something. They forget about that part. But the fact is, you have to. I had to learn how to make $50 a day consistently. How many of you guys would be happy, ecstatic, if at the end of the week your account was green by $250? Think about that. The first week I had a green, the first week that I was green for the whole week, I went out and celebrated. Because it's just that hard. Just that hard to do. And yeah, working with Sure Trader and having the high commissions, we couldn't really make a whole lot of money. So a couple $100 a week was gold to me. But then before you know it, I had $2,500 in there. Then I had $4,000 in there. Then I had $5,000, and I was able to take some trades. But by then I had developed the skill to be able to get in and scale out. Get in and scale out. But that's what it's all about. It's about starting. And I don't care if you have $100,000 to put in a trading account. If you start with too much, you're going to lose it very fast. You have to learn how to trade small and get consistent small gains, and then gradually build yourself up to, making big money. Making $200 a day is not as easy as it looks. Nope, but alright guys, I thank you all for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I'll definitely let you know when the next one comes. When I do the next webinar. But you guys take care, and I will see you in the AM. Oh yeah, I gotta catch Canal next time he comes to Charleston. He's been down here like twice. So I told him the next time he comes, let me know. we can go get a drink or two. Yeah, but I love watching those too. Let's see, where is... Oh, there it is. I couldn't find it. Alright, you're welcome, guys. And I will see you guys in the morning. Alright, let's see. I tell you, man, these stocks, some of these stocks, they just make moves at lunchtime. Yeah, Matt, I've been looking at it all time I was doing the webinar. I'm looking at AAOI, trying not to say what I wanted to say. But that's trading, so we'll get another move like that. We'll catch another one. I have some choice names for it. Yeah, I just Thomas, I just shut it down. What am I looking for? AAI did just what I wanted it to do. Man, EA was nice. Look at that. That'd be nice if I can get it. If we get a candle or two down and then a pullback and retest it as 20, I'd love to get in there.